Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Saturday? I pray all is well. I pray that your morning gotten off to an amazing start, but if not, hit that reset button and just start all over again. I wasn't planning on coming on this morning, but I felt led to share something with those that support me, those that look forward to me coming on in the morning, encouraging them, uplifting them, and giving them a sense of peace in their life. God woke me up this morning, as he had been doing for a while, between the hours of 4 and 5 in the morning to pray. And he woke me up this morning and he led me to this young lady's place, her platform, and I began to listen to her testimony and how she had to get into a place where she could really hear God's voice. And it came with shutting things down, shutting things out, and putting God first, making him her priority. And so often it's easy to get caught up. We make everything our priority. We make social media, we make TV, we make our phones, we make our job, we make our family. And we get so mixed up and tied up and tangled up with those things until he's no longer a priority. And we find ourselves being pulled in so many different directions. We're trying to fulfill so many things that we have opted into until we don't give God the proper time that he needs. Not only needs, but deserve, that we need, but that he deserves. And so I had already been feeling that God was pulling me away from certain platforms. I'm just going to be transparent this morning. Certain platforms that I would just get on there and I would just stroll and scroll and scroll, not really looking for anything in particular or anything specific. When your life appeared to be just boring and you're just working and you don't have a lot going on, it's easy to just binge watch TV or get on social medias, the different platforms, and you just scroll for hours, and sometimes you don't even realize how many hours you are putting on, that you are what's the word I'm looking for, that you are given to social media. And so I know one of the platforms God had been calling me away from, because it's easy to get caught up. Like I said, it's easy to get caught up. And this is not for those, this is not for everybody. So if it's not for you, you have the choice to scroll, or I pray that I say something that can release you. Maybe you're going through that. Maybe God is trying to call you closer to him, and he's asking you to give up TV. He's unctioning you to get off social media, and you find it hard. You don't think that you can do it. You don't think you're going to stay committed. You think you're going to start it. You think you're going to get back on it. Seems like the more he calls you away, the more you feel like you need to post, the more you need to share. And so, me coming on may be strength to you to be able to say, you know what, God, you have been calling me to do the same thing, but I just didn't feel like that I could do it. Well, I come to encourage you that it's going to benefit you to do that. I woke up this morning, God woke me up this morning and led me to her platform, and I began to watch a few of her testimonies and how she gave the Lord, she said, a year of consecration. No social media, no TV. She said she got on, I believe she said, every now and then on social media just to let people know that she was okay. But this was a spiritual journey. And sometimes we have to go on a spiritual journey with God. Sometimes we need to shut out the distraction. We need to turn off the noise that we are in control of, that we have invited in. And so she began to say, and like she said it wasn't easy. But after she did it, it was the best thing she could have ever done. Her life completely changed. And she said she had never really heard God's voice. She said until she retreated from everything, just set everything aside, just left everything where it was. And she went on this retreat, how she just began to make God her priority. Whew. My Lord. She made him a priority, and how he began to show her who she was. He began to show her her pain. He began to show her things that she had pressed down, that she had buried, that he needed to deal with. And so oftentimes we use distractions when we don't want to feel, when we don't want to remember, when we don't want to acknowledge. And so I found myself staying distracted by distractions that was distracting me from things that I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to remember. And so I know this is a time that God is calling me closer to him, because I know that there's more that he has for me to do. What I have been doing, I was in training for greater, coming on every morning, doing the devotion, encouraging others when I needed to be encouraged, uplifting others when I needed to be uplifted. I was in training for something greater, but I know and I feel in my spirit he's calling me closer. I haven't even tapped into really what he's called me to do. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be transparent. When you go through things in your life, some things can strip you of your confidence. Some things can make you feel like you're not good enough. It make you feel like that you're not enough. Again, this is not for everybody. If you've never been there, to God be the glory. And I know that that was me. I know that is me. And sometimes I said, Lord, how in the world? Because I'm trying to see, how can you use someone like me? What do I have to give? I don't have a degree. I don't have a certificate. What do I have to offer? My Lord. My Lord. But I know he chose me. I know he did. Because it's been a fight. It's been a struggle. It's been hard. I've been trying not to come to this point where I'm at, where I completely surrender. Because I realize that I can't do this on my own. I can't fix me. I can't change me. There's certain things in our lives that we can't do that only he can do. And I'm through running. I'm done with trying to fix it, make it better, make it look good, pretty it up, putting a bow on it. I'm at that place in my life where I'm saying, Lord, I know that there's more in me. I know that there's more that you have for me to do. But it's going to take some consecration. It's going to take some hiding myself in him, so he can do what truly needs to be done in my life. so I can have and live the life that he has predestined for me to live. I've been living the life that's been comfortable for me. I've been living a life that's been okay for me. I've been living a life of just settling. And I know that's not the life that he has for me. That's just the life that I have made comfortable. And I've just said, well, this is good enough. This is enough. I'm okay with this. But in my spirit, I feel more. In my spirit, I feel this is not it. And so with that being said, for those that have gotten used to me coming on, I'm going to take some time away. I'm going to hide myself in him. I got to set some things aside. I got to make him a priority in my life. It's easy to come on social media and binge watch other people's lives and what they're doing or what they're pretending to do or be, at the extent of losing what God has for you. And I know that there's more. The title is My Exodus. My exit from the old me. The old me. It's time for something new. It's time for something greater. It's time for something better. So I'm going to be taking some time away. I'm not going to put a time on it because I don't know. I'm just going to allow God to be God. And at his appointed time, when he say it's time, then I'll come back. I may pop on here and there, or he may just remove me altogether. I'm not sure if I'm going to deactivate or if I'm just going to delete it from my phone. But I know this is necessary. I know this is something that I have to do. And I tried to start it and then I will stop because I just feel like, how can I do this? How is this going to work? How is this going to look? But I'm looking at it through my own eyes. And I know if God is calling me to do this, he's going to get me through it. And so I know it's not going to be easy, but I know it's necessary. I know it's something that I have to do. I know it's something that I must do. That he's calling me. It's just like being in a marriage. And in a marriage, sometimes you have to shut things down. And it's just you and your mate. You have to shut off family. Sometimes you have to shut the kids off. You have to go on vacation. Sometimes you have to reunite with one another. Because you're working, he's working, you're being a mother, you're being a father, you're tending to the kids, you're there for family. And sometimes, if it's not too late, you forget about that relationship that you need to have with one another. And you have to go away sometime and reconnect. Get to know one another all over again. Start dating one another again. We can allow distractions to take us away from what's more important. And that reference scripture I was going to use is Psalms 143, 9 and 10. Psalms 143, 9 and 10. And I'm going to read that in my study Bible. Let me see, 9 and 10. Rescue me from my enemies. And when I read that, do you know sometimes you can be your own enemy? You can be in your own way. You can be hindering your own self. You can be holding your own self back. Lord, rescue me from my enemies, Lord, for I hide myself in you. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Sometimes we make other things our God, whether it's social media, whether it's our phone, whether it's our job, our money, our honey, our children. He is my God. And I want to show him that he is important. I want to show him that he is valuable. I need him to know that he is all and what I need. And I have fell short in that. David's prayer was to be taught to do God's will, not his own. I have been trying to do it my way. And that's not his will for me to do it my way. It's not his will for me to try to figure it out or work it out. A prayer for guidance is self-centered if it doesn't recognize God's power to redirect our lives. I will pray and I will say, Lord, order my footsteps. Show me the way you want me to go. But then I was still doing it my way. I was still doing it in a way that it was familiar for me, but not uncomfortable. I wanted to stay familiar, but that's not God's will. Asking God to reconstruct our priorities awakens our mind and stirs our will. When we get to that place where enough is enough, when you get to that place, you feel like that there's more, that there's better, that there's greater. When you get to that place and you understand that it's not about you, when you get to that place where you know that you can't fix it, you can't change it, you can't turn it, that's the moment you need to understand God's power, that he can reconstruct your life. And when he reconstructs your life, that's going to reconstruct your priorities. And it will awaken your mind and it will stir up your will to know, not my will, but Lord, let your will be done. You called me to do your will. And I have been doing it my way. And so, again, I just wanted to hop on to let those that support me on a daily, that looks for me on a daily, I'm stepping away. I got to hide myself. I got to get closer. I need that relationship with him. Because the times that we are living in, they're very uncertain. And if there ever was a time that you need to pull back, if there ever was a time you need to connect or reconnect, this is the time. See, when you have that relationship with him, when you become his friend, he'll begin to share some things with you. He'll begin to tell you how to move. He'll start giving you strategies. But if you have too much noise, too much distraction, he's not going to yell. He's a complete gentleman. He's not going to yell instructions to you. If you're not in a quiet place, if you're not in a still place, you're going to miss his instruction. You're going to miss his direction. You're going to miss his unctioning. So if God is calling you to a place of quietness, to a place of stillness, that is because he has some instructions. That is because he has some reconstruction to do. There's some things he need to uproot. There's some things he need to purge. There's some things he need to remove. There's some things he need to shift. There's some things he need to shake. There's some things he need to restore. But you got to be in that place of being ready. You got to get to that place of complete surrenderance and say, Lord, here I am. I shut it down. I close it out. I'll delete it. I'll deactivate it. I'll turn it off. I'll remove it. Whatever you need to do, this is the time to do it. See, God didn't just create us to just sit on social media and be something that we're not. On social media, you can be anything you want to be. But many of us is not being who God called us to be. We're trying to be accepted. We're trying to be approved. So with that being said, again, a big thanks for all those that have been supporting me, that have been clicking on the live, coming all the way in the room. Those that would just stop by and realize that here she go again. Those that caught the replay, I thank God for you. I thank God for you. But this is a time that I need to spend some much needed time in God's presence and less on social media. So again, thanks for hopping on. Let me take a little bit of your time this morning. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey. And when you don't know what that looks like, when you start finding out new things about yourself, I'm excited. I'm excited. So again, God bless you all. I love you all. And I will be back. I will pop in from time to time. But in this moment, this is something that I have to do. This is something that I must do. And I pray that you all keep me in your prayers as I will do the same. This is not a goodbye. This is until next time. Everyone, stay blessed.